Signore e signori, estimados guests and organizer, thank you very much for hosting me. I will, as you have noticed, I will speak in English. I understand perfectly Spanish, but my skills are not enough for being able to speak with you in Spanish directly. And anyway, I invite you asking questions in Spanish. I will understand and will answer as well. Thank you again. Thank you for the colleagues for having introduced the subject. I would like to spend 10 minutes with you explaining where we are, why we are doing this, and what's the framework of our activity, in order to introduce later on also some good examples of project developed and the methodology that we would like to follow today in this working day, because we would like at the end of the day to come with some with a list of recommendations, a list of points, a list of priorities, outputs, that this event will enrich the policy dialogue between Europe and Latin America on future developments, positive, surely, within the information technology arena. Okay, please. I start with some little introduction. We are talking here about a strategy of the European Union for international cooperation in research and development. Now, the strategy can be summarized in 3 main bullet points. First of all, contribute to sustainable development worldwide and foster Europe, science and technology excellence. This is the overall noble mission and the political reason also behind what all this is about. We are crossing a new momentum into the European Union external relation, and we want in Europe to take profit from the indications that Lisbon Treaty and other important documents are giving. And the idea here is to implement and to give the possibility of really put in practice what the theory, the wishes are written by politicians, by decision makers, and so on. Europe needs to promote its interests and values in a more assertively and spirit and with a spirit of reciprocity. This term and mutual benefit, those two terms are not new terms, but are really the belief and the petrol behind the activities that the new trend should put in evidence. Reciprocity, why? Because we are talking here very often when we do cooperation of a donor. Here we have not a donor. Here we have an organization that wants to cooperate. And cooperation is I give, I receive. If I'm rich, I put more. If you are less. But is this the procedure and the table of the dialogue? People at the same table with the same right, with the same duties, with the same and expectation as well. So this is the approach, the overall framework and the spirit. Next one, please. Another important reference is the European Council conclusions recently, where it has been declared that the European Union's strategic partnership with key players in the world should provide a useful instrument for pursuing European objectives and interests. Here we are talking about strategic partnership. Strategic partnerships where? In Europe. In the world. Anywhere. So we pass from a dimension of euro dimension to something larger. It's not new, but it is written now very strongly with declarations and then you will see later with tools. And those tools are interesting tools, but need to be reinforced in order that they are more efficient. This is our mission, this is our goal, our project goal in FORESTA, and we'll come back to that later. This will work only if there are two-way streets based on mutual interest and benefit. And this is, I repeat, is extremely important. I can't have my glasses because I don't see them. Yes. Next one, please. Reference are working moments. Last year in Madrid summit of Europe and Latin America countries, an important declaration, an important sentence have been put now on the screen. It's what I consider personally a commitment and a reference milestone of a full work between Latin America and Europe. The European Union is committed to continue to work closely together with the countries of the region, Latin America, in response to the global challenges facing all of us. So, Latin America is having an important place in this strategy. We are always talking everywhere about China, about India, about Brazil, the BRICS, but here we're talking about a continent, not only a big country, a continent. And this has been extremely well described and pushed. Based on those 3 slides presentation, let's see now in practice what happened. What can the European Union have as an instrument and tool, and how this can be put in place? Next one, please. Now, the achievement of those broad technology-related objectives is enhanced by an instrument that is called 7 Research Framework Program, dedicated to the research and development. In this program, there is a strong international cooperation dimension. Next one, please. What is the framework program? And allow me to do a step back. In a in a state, there are government, ministries, and ministries of many subjects, and then tools for implementing policies. The same thing happened in Brussels at the European level. We have a government, we have ministries, and in those cases they are called, let's say, directorate generals, and they have implementing instruments. And for the case of research and development, we are talking about a financial instrument that is called Framework Program 7. 7 because we are at the number 7, but it will there will be others, maybe with other names even. So the FP7 is the main financial instrument for implementing research and development policies, like in a normal state. Next one, please. How it is structured. And here, allow me to spend 5 minutes just for introducing. Maybe many of you knows already what I am talking about the framework program, but it's not useless to repeat sometime what we are talking about. So, a framework program is a bunch of money dedicated to research and development, and splitted in four big pillars. There is a cooperation pillar, the ideas, the people, and the capacity. Each set of those 4 colored boxes dedicate their resources, strategies, and activities to specific way of doing research, in cooperative research or research in general. The first one, the most rich one, is called the cooperation. Then we have ideas. Now, cooperation is where the transnational research collaboration is developed. It will absorb, and I will say later statistics with figures, it absorbs the biggest amount of budget. Ideas is more dedicated to funding frontier research, but from basic research as well. People is more dedicated to the human factor of the research, so exchange of professors, students, and so on, networking. And capacity is a chunk of money that is dedicated to infrastructure, in research, that is also dedicated to special policies like the small and medium enterprises policies. So all that, for all those 4 boxes, the main one, are composing the framework program. Next one, please. The distribution of the resources is as following. The total amount of the envelope is something like 43 billion euros. Well, 43 billion euros is the national budget, is the national budget of 2 big countries, and in this case, or 2 medium countries, in Europe at least. And in this case, it's fully dedicated to research. So imagine that what kind of amount of resources there are available for a certain amount of years. But it is the petrol, the energy that makes the wheel running and working very often. The distribution between the four pillars, the 4 boxes, are, as is in the screen. The biggest part is for the cooperation, and this is where we will work more with non-European countries like Argentina and Latin America in general. Ideas absorb something like 7.5 billion, and so on, with up to the capacity program. Next one, please. Now, the chapter of the international cooperation in this framework program, again, is divided and can be found in the 4 boxes themselves. Let's concentrate our attention in the first, the red one there, where here the effort will be, in our side, to identify joint interest, joint visions, in order that tomorrow the planification can be more efficient when, in Brussels, they'll do their program of expenditure, of objective, that match road maps or priorities in Argentina, but also in Chile, but also in Brazil, and so on, in Latin America in general. And this is the effort. The future, hopefully, will be that the participation of Latin American organizations into the framework program will be more easy, and this is the goal. Next one, please. The cooperation section, as I point out, the red box, is divided in 10 teams. And they are listed there. We have health, we have food, biotech, we have ICT, donc TIC, nano, and so on, up to the security. We are talking ourselves here of one of them, the ICT one. So number 3. And the number 3, next one, please, absorb the biggest amount of resources. Yes. The biggest amount of resources together with nanotechnology or health, I think, within the 32 billion euros of that box. So, how many participants, how many organizations have been able to work from Latin America in that box? Now, you can see, as very often is possible to say, a glass half empty or half full. Now, being positive, I see it half full. But I want to be provocative, and I think that actually the participation of Latin America in general is not enough. And therefore, I see the glass half empty. When I want to answer what is the success story, how many Latin American organizations have participated up to now with success in the framework program. Not enough. Simply not enough. And that's where we are. And this is the reason why the not enough should increase. How? Let's see how. And I hope that today the output will be a contribution to understand how it will be possible to increase the participation. But of course, we have statistics pointing out how many, next one please, how many participants have come from Latin America. There are opportunities that are coming in front. And we encourage to match them, to face them. I don't want to go into the details. The calls will be the call number 8, the call number 9 that are coming. The calls are the momentum where a proposal can be presented. Because there is another project also in Argentina called Pro Ideal Plus that its job is to teach and train and have project angels active in Argentina that will bring you into a position of presenting strong, competitive proposals. This is not really our role. Our role is more a debate, a political debate. Their role is more a practical activity in the territory. So I invite, again, the audience to be in contact with Monica in order that the stimulation of the other project, also financed by the European Commission, be in contact with you. Shall you need information, how to do things, and so on and so on. But I want to point out that anyway, those are the list. This is the list of the future, the actual objective for the future calls. And probably many of you active in ICT will be interested to understand what to do or with whom even, because it's not easy to set up a proposal. You need partnership, you need partners from Latin America, other countries, but from Europe in particular. Just that makes the exercise quite complicated for those that are living 11,000 kilometers from Europe. No? I talk up to now, next one please, about the cooperation pillar, and some activities related to cooperative projects. But there are other programs like the Marie Curie. The Marie Curie program is again another program where cooperation is with Latin America is very, very demanded and requested and needed. I'll be fast in those slides. Next one, please. Other projects and programs have been funded and are active and will come. There is a specific area of the program fully dedicated to international cooperation. Some projects are active. Again, Monica can be your entry point to those, in order that those projects can help you here locally. Next one, please. Okay. Now, having said a very, very fast presentation of FP7, normally I do half day or even one full day detail how to do propose things, etc. But this is not our role today. I want to go back on the concept that Europe cannot cooperate with all countries in all topics. It would be the ideal world. Therefore, there is the need of identifying countries, topic, priorities, and also guaranteeing a critical mass that justify those countries, those topics, to be financed in order to have impact and to have back some results. This is a thing where we will contribute today in identifying, pointing out priorities. The priorities for cooperation should come from joint input from Europe and from Latin America. In Argentina, from, why not, a roadmap that we will contribute. There are documents of reference already. I invite you, and they are downloadable, by the way, from the website, and also I know that Universidad de Palermo make them available for this conference. But those are already documents of previous works done by decision makers, but also other projects. They have analyzed and they have taken decision on priorities and on activities and on areas. Those are the reference. We don't want to reinvent the wheel today. We want to make the wheel running better. The time frame is medium. Very often we have to say long, but medium, because long in IT is colossal. I mean, it's enormous long. It's too long in ICT. So medium-term objective for reaching our goals. Monica today mentioned also the existence of a very innovative project called FIRST. FIRST project, it's a project whose goal has the mission of setting up what in Europe we are calling technological platform. What are those? Those are bodies where the industry, but also the academia, and also users, and anyway the stakeholders of the research in a specific area are debating, matching, in order that they produce some positions, the position of the actors. Those positions are specular, and this mechanism is specular to the one developed in Europe, and the goal of that is to influence, to work with the institutions, to work with the decision makers. Bene, in Argentina, a platform is growing in this moment. We are also partner of the project FIRST, and I want to mention it just because it's a very important element to be involved in our dialogue today and the next one. I'll finish with 2 slides. The role of FORESTA. The aim is to support the dialogue. This afternoon we need to identify key and motivate the identification of the areas. To came with ideas, macro ideas. To came with obstacles. What are today the obstacles for growing together? Is it administrative obstacles? Is it linguistic obstacles? When I mean linguistic, I mean from the definition of things. Is it the same saying Internet of the future in Argentina and in Europe? Are we talking about the same things? This is a certain moment. There are those kind of misunderstanding that makes people thinking differently. In fact, they are thinking the same, but they are just saying things in another way. That's an obstacle. Also for aligning policies and so on. So we have to come out this afternoon with such kind of things. Next one, and it is the last. The concept is that we have a noble mission. We can fail our mission, but we will fail together. We will not be the failure, we are the facilitator. But the ball and the actors are you. You are the actors. If you really want to push and you have the dynamism of doing it and the brief of doing it, you need to use us as a tool, as a leverage tool, as an instrument to kick the politicians eventually in order that they set up frames that are possible to be used for a better cooperative in Latin America research and development arena. This is what we want to do. But the ball is in your side, more than in our side now. Thank you very much, and I'm available for questions.